Hey guys, Rhett here. What is going on? For those of you that have been on the channel for a while, you understand I have the whiteboard behind me, which means we're gonna dive into it today. So guys, the question that I have been posed recently is how can I build a $30,000 monthly Section 8 rental portfolio as quickly as I can? Now, contrary to what you'll find on TikTok and Instagram and maybe some other people that you listen to, is building a $30,000 gross cash flowing Section 8 portfolio is cash intensive, meaning it's gonna take money to build that. And that's not what a lot of people like to hear. That's gonna piss some people off, thinking that you can't build a $30,000 portfolio without spending a lot of money. But we're gonna walk through it. We're gonna walk through a couple different ways to get there and to do it, and how it works and how it operates. And I hope, if nothing more, hopefully it doesn't piss you off. Hopefully it gives you some clarity and at least gives you a better guideline basis to how to get there, okay? In real estate, it takes money to make money. All right, that is what nobody likes to hear. Everybody wants the shortcut. How do I build $10,000 a month passive income without spending money? How do I build a $30,000 a month cash flowing Section 8 portfolio without spending a lot of money, with spending $100,000? Can you do that? No, you can't do that. You need money to make money. And especially in real estate, you have to spend it. Now, the other way to not spend a ton of money is you sacrifice time, money or time. If you want $30,000 a month and you don't want to spend $1 million to do it, then we need to wait a long period of time, right? We have to wait till our assets appreciate greatly. We have to refinance them a lot. We have to generate a lot of capital from those refinances, or the assets have to appreciate so much that we can then sell them and buy more assets. So we're gonna dive into it without further ado. Please, if you have questions on any of this, drop me your questions, comments in the description below. As we go through this, if you're like, wow, I want to do that and I can do that, and you don't know who to do it with and you want to work with me and my teams, drop me an email. My email's in the description below, and reach out and we'll get started, okay? So let's talk about how to build a $30,000 a month passive income Section 8 cash flowing machine, all right? So there's a couple different ways to do this. And in order to do this, I want you to assume that the average Section 8 unit, we're gonna use round numbers, the average Section 8 unit is going to cost us $100,000, okay? Assume that that is whether we're buying it turnkey or whether we're using the BRRRR method and adding value, eliminating CapEx. Either way, $100,000 is gonna be our baseline entry point to that unit. So $100,000, okay? $100,000 purchase price, all right? Now, in doing that, in understanding that $100,000 gets us one Section 8 rental property, and assume that we're in a market where there's plenty of demand, where Section 8 rents are very competitive, and there's plenty of inventory, which is gonna allow us to grow to the units that we need to get to $30,000 a month, all right? So let's assume now that in order to buy a $100,000 Section 8 rental unit, if you're using cash, you need $100,000, okay? So if you're using financing, so with cash, you need, obviously, $100K. With financing, you need 20% down, which is $20,000, plus closing costs, which are roughly $5,000. So let's say $25,000 to keep the numbers square is what we're gonna need to buy a $100,000 unit. Now, this is very important. We're gonna kind of work down our branches here. So if you own this unit in cash, I want to assume that this $100,000 Section 8 rental property is going to cash flow for us at roughly $1,300 per month, okay? That is what Section 8 is going to pay every single month, all right? I know that's small for you guys in the back, okay? So $1,300. Now, after all of our expenses, so our property taxes, our insurance, and our property management, let's assume conservatively, because if you're buying in cash, we're gonna start on this side of the tree going down. You don't have principal, you don't have interest, you don't have an escrow payment. And you're not paying 7% interest like it is right now in June 2026. And of course, this would look a lot different if we were doing this a couple years ago when interest rates were a lot lower, but we're basing them on 7% interest because $30,000 a month is gonna be based on the debt market that we're in, okay? So when the debt market is cheaper, maybe our purchase price goes up, but in a vacuum, we're in a situation where we get to $30,000 a month a lot sooner because your cash flow is greater. But if we're staying on this side of the tree, your expenses here are $300, which means your net cash flow is going to be about $1,000 per month, okay? So $1,000 net per month per house. Amazing. Phenomenal yield. That's amazing. You make a bunch of money and everybody will be happy, okay? Now, from there, in order to get to 30,000, very simple, you gotta do that 30 times. So if you're using cash, you have to buy 30 houses at $100,000 to generate $1,000 of net cash flow per month, which means you're spending $3 million, and we could do that tomorrow. So if you have $3 million in cash to spend, you have $3 million that you wanna put to work, we can buy literally 30 Section 8 units. So what does that equal? It's 30 units that each generate roughly net of $1,000 per month, okay? And are gonna generate you very, very easily, very cleanly, $30,000 per month or $360,000 per year. All right, as long as you buy the right units and you buy in the right areas, very, very easy. That math is extremely repeatable and it's extremely real, okay? That is how we are gonna get there. And that is as clean and simple as it gets. Now, the downside to that is you need $3 million to do it, okay? Not a lot of people have $3 million to be able to cut checks and buy 30 units and be able to create that cash flow. So, and of course the yield on that is phenomenal. It's a great return on your money. Now, in this assumption right here, it's a little bit different. 25,000 buys us one unit. That one unit is going to generate us right now in 2026, okay? Keep in mind, a couple years ago, we could average net cash flows of $500 a month, $800 a month. We can't do that anymore. The rates are at 7%. So in that instance, assume that our net cash flow per unit is gonna be somewhere around $325 a month. Now, that's ultra conservative. We have some clients who are generating $450 a month with debt, okay? I wanna be ultra conservative, $325 a month. Now, consider this is the worst it will ever be because when the rates come down, we'll refinance, get into a better rate, which means that this turns into 400, 450, 500 as it will over time. So this is the baseline. Now, this is your net cash flow. So you need to consider how many units am I gonna have to buy to get to $30,000 a month, okay? What is my cost basis, understanding that $25,000 buys me one. So for every $25,000 that I spend, I generate $325 per unit. Let's make it even easier. Let's say it's $300. Let's even be more conservative, okay? How many units do I need? I need 100 units to get to that point, right? Because 100 units at $300 a month is going to give me that $30,000. I was doing 3 million. That's not right. Okay, so $30,000 a month, which means we have to do 100 units, okay? 100 units, all right? Gets us that $30,000 a month. In order to do that, I'm doing the math on the fly here. That's why I'm making mistakes, all right? So we get our $300. We have to buy 100 units, which means we're 25,000 100 times, which, yikes, that's no good, okay? We're spending $2.5 million over the course of a certain amount of time. Now keep in mind, we can be doing this for a long period of time. You can invest that over 20, 30, 40 years if you want to. Still a lot of money. It is a lot of money. It's not the ideal way to do it. It's not the best way to do it at all. The best way to do this, so you see, it's even running it like this, you're gonna be like, well, what the heck, this is crazy, I'm never gonna get there. Well, what if I do the BRRRR method? Well, with the BRRRR method, when we do the BRRRR method, okay, so we'll talk about the BRRRR method: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. In this method, we buy a house for $50,000, okay? We spend purchase price. We spend $50,000 in renovations, okay, reno. We're all in for $100,000. We add value to this, so after we're done with the renovation, the house is worth, the ARV, the after repair value, is $140,000, okay? We pull out 75% of that number, okay? So whatever that number is, the bank cuts us a check for 75% of $140,000. We now have a loan on 75% of $140,000, which means our mortgage is going to be high. Our mortgage is going to be expensive. If that unit's renting for $1,300 a month, we're able to pull out all of our capital because 75% of $140,000 is over $100,000. So you're going to get all your money back after the refi, okay? The problem is we now have a bigger loan that's going to really eat into that $1,300 a month. So our net cash flow on a BRRRR property is actually going to be even lower. So we would need even more BRRRRs to get there. It'd be over 100 units. We'd need 200 units. But with the BRRRR, the beautiful thing is you're getting all your money back. So even if your net cash flow here is $140 a month, right, of net cash flow, you've got none of your own money in the deal. That's an infinite cash on cash return because all your cash is out. That's why people love the BRRRR method. And the quality of these units is phenomenal because you've eliminated all the CapEx, you've eliminated everything that could go wrong in that unit over the next 10 to 20 years, and you've got warranties. So that's why people love the BRRRR method, but it's not the best way to get to $30,000 a month. The best way to get to $30,000 a month, if you do not have $3 million to spend, obviously, this is the best way to get there, is to spend $3 million in cash. The best way to get there is to do a combination of the BRRRR method, cash, and buying units with financing. But we spent our $25,000. In 2026, we are generating $300 a month, okay? We buy as many units as we can always. We are constantly refinancing. So what ends up happening is in 2028, when the debt is cheaper, our net cash flow goes from $300 to $575. That is not including the Section 8 rental increases we file every single year. So if you're getting $1,400, $1,300 a month today, next year, we're gonna ask for $1,450. We're gonna try and get way more Section 8 money. That extra $150 is going right to your bottom line. So you go from $300 here to $450, okay? Then in 2028, we refinance that $450, might even go to $625. So you are inching your way up. You're getting there, you're getting there, you're getting there. When you enter over that $625 number, consider that if we're netting $500 a month, we only need, but we need 60 units generating $500 a month to get to $30,000, right? So we need 60 units. So how do we get there if we can keep bringing this number up through refinancing and through Section 8 rental increases? We keep boop, 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 bumping that net up, bumping that net up, bumping that net up to get us to where we need to go. Do you still need over 50 units to get there? Most likely, yes. And how do we get there? We got to chip away. We got to spend money. We got to chip away. We got to buy units turnkey. We do some with the BRRRR method. We buy some units that are occupied. We buy a lot of them using regular financing. But we chip away, we chip away, we chip away in order to get there. There's no easy way. It's very difficult to grow big portfolios. You need capital, but it's a lot easier when you have the right people and the right teams. I would love to do it with you. If you guys want to do it with me and my teams, drop an email to us below. Can't wait to get started with you. We'll see you next time.